In 1994, Jeff Bezos had a life most would envy. A Princeton graduate, a high-paying job at D.E. Shaw, a top Wall Street hedge fund, a fast track to becoming a millionaire. But then, he stumbled upon a statistic that hit him like a bolt of lightning. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year. Bezos couldn't unsee it. He started thinking, what could I build on this unstoppable wave? He created a list of 20 online business ideas, everything from online auctions to email services. But the one that stuck was selling books online. Books made sense. They were easy to ship. There were millions of titles, far more than any physical bookstore could hold. But there was nothing safe about the idea. This was 1994. People didn't shop online. They didn't trust websites with their credit card information. Still, Bezos believed. When he told his boss at D.E. Shaw, the response was blunt. It's a good idea, for someone who doesn't already have a great job. That could have stopped him. But it didn't. Bezos chose the unknown. He left his job, packed a car with his wife, a laptop, and a few boxers. Wrote the business plan during the drive to Seattle. And started building what would one day change the world. Cadabra.com. Yes, that was the first name. Originally, Bezos named the company Cadabra, short for abracadabra. He liked that it sounded magical. But when he said it out loud to a lawyer, the lawyer thought he said cadaver. That was the red flag. So Bezos changed it. He wanted something bold, something global, something that started with a, so it would show up at the top of alphabetical listings. He settled on Amazon, named after the world's largest river. He wanted Amazon to be the world's largest bookstore. That was the vision. 1995 1997, from garage to global. In 1995, Amazon.com went live. No ads, no hype, just a simple site that sold books. Every time a sale happened, a bell would ring in the office. The team would cheer, pack the order by hand, and deliver it to the post office. In just 30 days, they had sales in all 50 US states and over 45 countries. By 1997, Amazon went public. Stock opened at $18 per share. Still, Bezos wasn't chasing profits. He told shareholders, it's day one. That meant he was just getting started. 1998-2000, beyond books and into the bubble. By 1998, Amazon had added music, DVDs, electronics, toys, and more. Bezos was building the everything store. But he wasn't alone. The late 90s were flooded with dot-com startups, most with no revenue or real plan. Investors threw money at anything ending in .com. It was a gold rush. Until it wasn't. 2000, the dot-com bubble bursts. In 2000, the market crashed. The bubble burst. Startups collapsed overnight. Billions in capital evaporated. Amazon's stock tanked, from over $100 to under $10. Analysts mocked it, called it Amazon bomb, said it would never survive. Bezos faced brutal choices. He laid off staff, cut expenses, but never stopped believing. In 2001, Amazon posted its first ever profit. It was small, but it was proof that the model worked. Amazon had survived what most didn't. 2000-2010, planting seeds in the dark. In the shadows of recovery, Bezos was planting seeds that would define the next 2 decades. 2000, Amazon launched Marketplace, letting third-party sellers list products on the site. People said, why would you invite competitors onto your platform? Bezos didn't care. He was building an ecosystem. 2002, Amazon quietly launched AWS, Amazon Web Services, cloud infrastructure for other businesses. No one paid attention. Today, it powers Netflix, NASA, Airbnb, and more. 2005, Bezos introduced Amazon Prime, free 2-day shipping for a membership fee. People laughed. Now, Prime has over 200 million members. Bezos didn't follow the crowd. He built things quietly and waited. 2010-2017, the empire awakens. 2010, AWS exploded in revenue. Cloud computing was the future, and Amazon owned it. 2011, Amazon started streaming video, a direct challenge to Netflix. 2014, enter Alexa, a smart speaker that brought voice assistants into homes. 2015, Amazon surpassed Walmart in market value. 2017, Amazon acquired Whole Foods for $13.7 billion. It now owned hundreds of physical grocery stores across America. Bezos had done the unthinkable. He took a bookstore and turned it into a tech, retail, and logistics powerhouse. 2020-2023, COVID, boom, and layoffs. When the pandemic hit in 2020, Amazon became essential. People ordered everything online. Amazon hired over 400,000 people in a single year. Revenue exploded. But after the pandemic, the world shifted again. Inflation, economic tightening, and slowed online demand hit hard. Amazon had overbuilt. Too many warehouses. Too many hires. In 2022-2023, Amazon laid off over 27,000 employees. Cut costs. Cancelled projects. Why? Not because Amazon was failing, but because it had to reset after hypergrowth. It had prepared for a future that didn't come fast enough. 2024 and beyond, still day one. Today, Amazon is investing in AI, healthcare, drones and logistics, sustainability, robotics, space, via Bezos' Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO in 2021, handing leadership to Andy Jassy. But Amazon's mission hasn't changed. It's still day one. The lesson behind it all. This isn't just a story about a company. It's a story about belief. About betting on the future when no one else sees it. About risking comfort for conviction. About surviving failure and building anyway. Jeff Bezos didn't win because he was rich. He became rich because he was willing to start. From Cadabra to Amazon. From a garage in Seattle to the world's largest online retailer. If you are doubting yourself today, if you failed, or feel small, or late, just remember, Amazon was once just a man in a car with an idea. That's how every empire begins.